So I represent the school program of the SPEFL, and I'm here to briefly talk to you about physical literacy. Primarily, the difference between current physical education trends world over and physical literacy is that traditionally we focused on sports-based curriculum, which is a model of exclusion. So you win a match, you get selected for the semifinals, then you go to the finals, and therefore only the best of the best students are applauded, trained, promoted, and they represent the school, win medals, and feel confident and all that. What we now present is a model of inclusion, where every child is encouraged to participate in physical activities to their level of competency, without being made to feel like they are a failure.
Very happy to hear Gita. Was that Gita Krishna Raj speaking?
Yes, ma'am.
Brilliant. Look, Gita has already set the tone. And what I had thought of, Gita has already said. I'm not going to repeat what Gita said. There is no excuse for any child to be left behind. And I like this, Gita, what has said. It's not always competition. Let's promote games which provide collaboration and team building. So let's go in for games which involve maximum participation, where everybody is a winner. Every child walks away with a trophy saying, I did it. So that's a sense which Gita also mentioned, that we inculcate in every child a sense of achievement, a child of winning streak, and not a loser.
We need to impress upon children that being active comes from every form of movement, whether it is grooving to music, exploring nature, social interactions, adventure, aesthetic forms, and any other kind of physical activity, because whenever you're able to engage your body in movement, it's physical activity. And physical education is a structured curriculum that helps in promoting physical activity across all age groups.
Music, dance, painting, art, all these extracurricular activities are actually character building, personality development, life skills. I think these are life skills. We owe it to our teachers, to our children, to read, to write, to play, to laugh, to sing, to dance, to create, and I think make great friends. This is, I think, Aparna, I would like to contribute. Yeah. No school ground should be, no classroom, no hall, no auditorium should be without an activity, and no child without a memory of an activity like this.
As ma'am said, the skills that we are trying to develop are not just about vocational skills, it's also about life skills, and physical literacy is a very important life skill. So what does physical literacy actually mean? It's not just a new term. Physical literacy is actually our relationship with movement and physical activity throughout life. So it's not an end result or a normative standard that we hope to achieve. It's not like saying you achieve 5 marks or 3 marks or something like that. It's more like building an attitude or inculcating in our students the disposition to be willing movers, because right now the biggest killer is our sedentary lifestyle. And physical literacy is about valuing engagement in physical activity for every child and making it a consistency in a daily practice for health. While children who thrive on goal-oriented, competitive, sports-based approach need to be motivated and challenged, there are others who need to be given a more, process-oriented approach, like, building their skill and competency on the physical level, but also working on their affective domain of building their attitudes, their emotions, making them feel confident, working on their cognitive domain of helping children understand why, when, and how they need to move. So I firmly believe that our most important resource is our body, because it's the only means by which anyone can achieve anything at all. And therefore, it is our responsibility to impress upon our children that physical activity is both their birthright as well as their responsibility.
Studies, academics, and sport go together. Our ability to concentrate is much higher. Our ability to grasp things are good. Our logical thinking in terms of solving problems are better. That's because sport teaches you all of that. We follow a certain discipline. So sport teaches you many attributes in life which are embedded. I constantly keep telling the young kids that we need to be active in sport, because sport is not just keeping you active physically, but it also keeps you mentally active also.
especially in grades KG to 8. We have to give them a horizontal exposure to a variety of movement patterns so that the program can include pattern recognition, movements to enhance cognition, for rhythmic literacy, to present a wide variety to improve their neuroplasticity, theatrical movement, something by which every child is engaged. And they understand that physical education is not just off the body, building a skill, but through the body, because that is when you actually live life, when you understand that your body is basic and primary for living life. The whole idea of the program is to ensure that we don't leave any child behind, that they get enough opportunity to enjoy being physically active so that it becomes a lifestyle for them, where it's not about winning a medal alone, but also about understanding the value and sanctity of this body and how they can be at their best possible self for life.
Even now, if I'm low on energy, when I do a little bit of sport, let's say I do some exercise, I do some yoga, I do a little bit of table tennis, and then when I come back, I feel a lot more energized. So even when I had to, in my school days, when I had to study, if things were getting too boring, Dad would always say, we can just go play table tennis for 30 minutes and come back. My mom would not accept it. She would say, he needs to study. But my dad would be so confident that, no, it's okay if he goes there, plays, and then comes back. He'll be more fresh. And that next 1 hour, what he's going to study will be better, rather than just staying here and him whiling away time for the next 3-4 hours.
National Education Policy of 2020 has clearly outlined its objectives to mainstream physical education, but enforcing it as a rule does not translate into willing participation by the children. And the session should be outcome-based rather than result-based. And that makes a huge difference, because a result is a judgment saying that you passed or failed, whereas an outcome is, we gave an intervention to understand certain things. You may have understood it fully, or maybe you're still falling short, but you keep building on it and you keep developing it. And therefore, students who are not goal-oriented or competitive also will be motivated by stimulating process that is fun, accessible, meaningful, because if they don't find purpose in that drill or sport, they're not going to participate. So it has to be a meaningful activity. And we have to build their confidence by giving them small victories, breaking down the larger goals into more accessible, smaller goals for every child to perform.
Having heard Gita Krishna Raj, I'm so glad I heard you, because I joined in earlier. Also instilling with these child, how can they be better? How can they do better? Because winning and losing also has to be learned when you were a child. You have to learn collaboration. You have to learn team building. You have to learn coalition. You have to learn team coming together and give and take. But you also have to learn competition. And you also have to learn to lose. But you also have to learn to win after losing. So win to lose, lose to win. Now, these cannot be done without competitions. So competition is important. But collaboration, team building, coming together, etc. is more important. But let's get one thing clear. No education is complete without a sports. Nothing is complete. All of us who've achieved in life have got it because we had more energy. We had more fitness. We had more winning and losing streak. We had more emotional balance, right? We valued our nutrition. We valued our time. We valued friends. We did team building, collaboration, competition. We learned to lose and get up again to win. So I think these are the things undoubtedly are the benefits of sports.
We have to build their competency in fundamental movement skills and gross motor skills, especially in the young age, because only when you expand the amount or the number of children who are participating in sports and willing to explore, you're actually making a lot more number of students available to become peak performers and podium performers. So we have to increase the foundation and give a lot more opportunity. The whole idea of the program is to ensure that we don't leave any child behind.
I think spirituality and through yoga is an essential part of the education. So while we are making their intelligence quotient, IQ, which is coming through books, we must make the emotional quotient, which is coming through books. And through yoga and meditation, etc., we develop the spiritual quotient. It's a balance of these spiritual quotient, intelligence quotient, and the emotional quotient, which is make a complete child.